we certainly know that the investment dollars continue to flow at a much higher rate towards the DSOs than they do to traditional private practice.
All right, so we're 15 years rolled out. So it's 2037, 2038, somewhere in there. What's based on your experience in other industries and understanding the business world and what you see happening in dentistry, what is the dental world going to look like?
So we are going to see sort of mass consolidation, particularly, whether it's through DSOs or through group sort of roll-ups. We're certainly seeing that now. Certainly over the last sort of 10 to 15 years, we've seen the traditional private practice numbers drop in dentistry from about 65% to about 50%. And then we've seen roughly year-on-year growth of 1 to 1.5% in the DSO space during that period as well. There's a few estimates that sort of suggest that the DSO space by about 2025 will account for about 60% of the capitalization of the market. Wow. And that's likely to continue to accelerate as we move forward. We certainly know that the investment dollars continue to flow at a much higher rate towards the DSOs than they do to traditional private practice. And one of the rules in business is always follow the wisdom of the market. Maybe one or two people will get it wrong, but very, very unlikely for the entire market to get it wrong. So that's where it's headed. But that's, again, not to say that,
unless it's NFTs is the only exception to that.
Well,
I'm just playing. I'm playing. That's a curveball.
But that's not to say that like individual dental practices can't compete effectively against in this particular market. One of the things that if you can't be an aggressive amalgamator or an adaptive survivor, one of the key strategies that works very, very well in the market is the focused strategy, where you do begin to focus on specific market segments.
Yeah.
And then secondary to that is that individual practices or sort of smaller groups can compete and achieve economies of scale by joining sort of strategic alliances. So, large groups, like there are a few around the place, buying clubs, some people might call them, but there are ways that smaller businesses and smaller capitalized businesses can achieve that economy of scale that is necessary to compete.